Greetings. Today we have the sixth and final installment of Mimicking the Gospel Suffering of Christ. 1 Peter 3:16 literally says, having a good conscience, in order that, in which thing they may be speaking against you all as evildoers, the ones falsely accusing you all, the good manner of life in Christ, they may be ashamed. Having a good conscience involves both God and man. I can have a good conscience toward a man if I simply remember that his judgment does not matter. I can have a good conscience toward God, knowing that he is a true judge who will apply his plainly revealed and unchanging law without respect of persons in the coming judgment with which all men have an appointment, according to Hebrews 9:27. And as it is appointed unto man once to die, but after this, the judgment. In the book of Genesis chapter 18, verse 25, we find that Abraham said, that be far from thee to do after this manner, to slay the righteous with the wicked, and that the righteous should be judged as the wicked. That be far from thee. And then he asked this question, shall not the judge of all the earth do right? And the answer is certainly he will. Psalm 58 verse 11, so that a man shall say, verily there is a reward for the righteous. Verily he is a God that judgeth in the earth. 94th Psalm verse 2, lift up thyself, thou judge of the earth. Render a reward to the proud. Isaiah chapter 3, beginning at verse 8. For Jerusalem is ruined and Judah is fallen, because their tongue and their doings are against the Lord, to provoke the eyes of his glory. The show of their countenance doth witness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom. They hide it not. Woe unto their souls, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves. Say ye to the righteous that it shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their doings. Woe to the wicked, it will be ill with him, for the reward of his hand shall be given him. We go to the Gospel of John, chapter 16, verse 1. These things have I spoken unto you, that you should not be offended. The word offended, the Greek word, is scandalized. And the idea is caused to stumble in following Christ. He goes on to predict in verses 2 and 3, they shall put you out of the synagogues. Yea, the time cometh that whosoever killeth you will think that he doeth God service. And these things will they do unto you, because they have not known the Father or me. One Saul of Tarsus was certainly described in those two verses, as well as many others. But he concludes John chapter 16 with these words in verse 33, these things I have spoken unto you, that in me you might have peace. In the world you shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. Jesus moves the possibility and the probability into the realm of certainty with these words. If we share the gospel, then we will certainly experience suffering as a result. So then the question becomes, is there any evidence of such suffering in our lives? Paul wrote to Timothy and said a list of the things that he had suffered, and he said, but yea, out of them all the Lord delivered me. And he promised he would deliver others. And then he said these words, yea, or yes, all that will, all that desire to live godly in Christ Jesus shall suffer persecution. Are we mimicking the gospel suffering of Christ? That is the question. God knows the answer. It will be revealed to us by his Spirit now and by coming future judgment.